Have you noticed that there's more information available than ever before, but yet there's still so many people that are not having success in all those different areas of their life? On this video, I'm gonna teach you the magic ingredient that was taught to me by a billionaire that not only changed my business, but changed my entire life. Coming up. Hey everyone, Darin Kid here. Thanks for stopping by my channel. On this channel, we give you weekly content to help you succeed now in your network marketing business. And after being in this industry for 25 years, failing for about 7 and saying I'll never do it again, then I had the right mentors that came into my life that changed everything. And I was very fortunate for over a decade to be mentored by the late billionaire, Paul J. Meyer. And every year we would go to a retreat center in Salado, Texas, and he would fly in some of the best in the world to train us. And I remember that he brought in Ken Blanchard. So if you go into your local bookstore, if you Google Ken Blanchard, he's a best-selling author, one of the top leadership coaches in the world. And I remember that Ken Blanchard came in and went to Paul Meyer. And even though he's one of the best in the world, he said, Paul, I don't understand. I don't understand why there's more information available, easier to access. Think about it. We can Google anything on our phone, and there's more information available than we could read in several lifetimes. But why are there more people struggling with maybe it's their health, wealth, finances, relationships? And Paul Meyer told Ken Blanchard, he said, that is an easy question to answer. They're missing the magic ingredient. And this magic ingredient, like I said in the intro, it changed my life. It changed my business. It changed everything because it applies to everything in our life. And that magic ingredient is spaced repetition. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by spaced repetition. How many of you are watching this? Have you ever done martial arts? I know I've been a part of the martial arts world for over 20 years. So I could sit in front of you and we could sit down and I go, listen, let me show you just some basic self-defense moves. And it could be something as simple as keeping up your hands or, maybe a simple little block. And I teach you and you look perfect. Man, you practice for an hour and you look like a pro. But then tonight you go out to dinner and it's dark and you're walking back to your car and you're getting ready to walk around the corner of a building and someone is gonna try to rob you. But what they do is they're gonna try to knock you out before they rob you. And when they jump around the corner and they swing at you, instead of you doing exactly what we talked about and you practiced earlier and you had it perfect, you do something like this. You scream and go, ah, and your hands go to the side, the opposite of what I just taught you. Why is that? Because that's your muscle memory. Recently talking to a UFC fighter, he said, Darin, you have to rep at about 10,000 times before it becomes muscle memory and you don't even think about it. I remember Bruce Lee used to talk about, when he would get into a real life situation, it was like he stepped outside of his body and his body just took over. Well, we have to rep our mind like we rep our muscles. Over 50% of what we retain is after the 5th time that we hear it, we see it, or we read it. So Paul Meyer would say, Darin, I would rather you read the same book once a month for 4 to 6 months in a row instead of 4 to 6 different books because you're gonna get so much more out of it. Because as you're out there learning the information and you do some activity, when you go back and you read the same book, you listen to the audio. How many times have you listened to the same audio and you go, man, somebody re-recorded it and must have put it back in my car. They must have added a few pages to this book because I don't remember seeing that before. So we have to rep our mind like we rep our muscles. Over 50% of what we retain is after the 5th time that we hear it, we see it, or we read it. So in building your network marketing business, some of you I've heard people complain, I hear the same things over and over and over again. That's great, because then you know that they're doing the right thing by continually programming you with the right information until you get it. So let me encourage you, don't get tempted to reinvent the wheel. So many times in this industry, here's what I see people do. They get in, they get excited, they hear the information one time, they go out, they start doing a little bit of activity, then they start feeling like they're not having success fast enough, and they go, well, I need to change something or listen to something different or reinvent the wheel. And that's not the way it works. You want to continue to read the same books over and over and over again multiple times. You want to continue to listen to the same audio programs over and over. Listen to your mentors, because until you're doing those things by habit, you hadn't listened to them enough. So don't reinvent the wheel, stick to the basics. Basics create wealth in network marketing. Fancy doesn't. Fancy does not duplicate. So I would encourage you, use spaced repetition in every aspect of your life. It made a big difference in my life. And sometimes you have to slow down to go fast, and this will really help you in building your business.